Good evening, centers. Very warm good evening. How are you? So we were discussing evolution, isn't it? And I gave you certain questions and I asked you to do them back your home. So tell me, were there any problems when we were doing the questions? Did you encounter any problem? Tell me. First of all, let me know how many centers are logged in. Yes? Excuse me. I can see a bag lying in Shillong, but I cannot see anybody with the bag. Yes? How many centers are logged in? Please respond. Okay. So I will start the discussion, whatever the assignment we were having in the last class. Let us have a quick discussion of the same. So, what we were talking about, we're talking about third assignment from evolution. That was the homework from my side. Okay. Just zoom. So let us see the first question. So the first question is, what is artificial selection? Okay. So we had a end discussion about artificial selection where I told you that artificial selection is actually a kind of selection which is not done by nature. Not done by nature means all the selection procedures what were done till now was done by your nature. So nature was playing a very, very important role. For example, if you talk about human evolution, we will be discussing human evolution in the next class, not today, but in the next class. So whenever you're talking about the particular forces that were essential for the natural selection, we were talking about many things, isn't it? We were talking about many factors, many mutations. So I gave you a whole list of things that were actually responsible for the process of natural selection. Now, if man is supposedly doing anything, okay, now if you are going and selecting a particular breed of crop, breed of animal, and selectively doing the breeding of that particular species, of that variety, what we call that to be? We call that to be artificial selection. So, what is artificial selection? If a question like this comes to you, the answer would be what? Artificial selection is a mode of selection done by man. And the best example out of them is actually breeding of animals, or we can say agriculture also, isn't it? I like the variety, I gave you an example, I like the variety of rose, isn't it? And in the wild I started to roam around, I found rose. I found it very beautiful, I brought it to my home and then I showed it to my friends. My friends also found it very nice, very beautiful, and they also wanted the same flower in their home. So they also went in wild and then got this plant from there. So gradually and gradually what happened? Rose became a part of our life, isn't it? This was the story I was telling you in the last class. Okay? Shillong, did you do the homework? Have you done the assignment? Tell me. So this is what is artificial selection. Have you done the assignment, Shillong? Yes? Shillong? Have you done the assignment? Tell me. I can see only one center logged in. Tell me, Shillong, have you done it? Have you done the assignment? Yes. Yes, I can see 2 centers logged in apart from Shillong. Which is the other center? Okay, exams just got over today. Okay, no problem. Just be a part of the discussion. No issues. Any other center logged in? I can see one more center logged in. Which center is logged in? Yes, please. Okay, Kohima, welcome. This is your first class with me. How are you people? Yes, Kohima, this is first time we are meeting, isn't it? Okay, we are good. Okay, fine. So what we are doing is we are actually proceeding with a chapter called as evolution. That is the chapter after the genetics, molecular basis of inheritance, and after the chapter we have evolution. Okay? Okay, but you were not with me, I guess, isn't it? I was here yesterday also, but I was taking class from 11th class. So 11th Kohima was yesterday with me. I guess you were having your physics class yesterday. So this must be your first biology class, isn't it? Okay, fine. So we are actually discussing a chapter assignment. After every class, you will be getting an assignment of like 10 questions. And those will be very, very easy questions based on the discussions, based on the teaching of that particular class. So whatever I am teaching today, I will be giving you an assignment based on this, and you are supposed to do that assignment, complete that assignment, unless and until very urgent or emergency happens to you. So you have to supposed to do that assignment and come with that assignment into the next class. So that is what you are supposed to do from the next time. So whatever I will be teaching you from today, since this is your first class, be very attentive. Let me know if you have any doubts. And we will be having all these things in the form of assignment given to you, and you are supposed to message me on my WhatsApp group. You must be there with us. So you are supposed to message me on that WhatsApp group, giving the details of your assignment. Okay, that this is my assignment, and get a pic of it. Just click a pic of it and send to us. Okay, so that I can have certainty that you are doing your homework nicely. Okay, how many students are there at Kohima now? Yes, Kohima, how many of you are there? Okay. Fine. So this is what is artificial selection. We are talking about, there was a question, I gave this question, what is artificial selection? So artificial selection is a mode of selection which is done artificially by man. And I was giving you an example of rose, that I went in wild, I found rose, I found it very beautiful, with a very good fragrance. What I did was, I brought it back my home, isn't it? And I showed to everybody. So everybody liked it, and they also got it from wild, and gradually the rose became a part of our life. So this is how the breeding of the animals, breeding of the crops is being done. Okay? Let us get to the next question. The next question is, let me see if I can just increase the size of the image. Okay. So next is, who proposed the embryological support of evolution? So who was the one who supported the embryological support of evolution? Have you done this chapter earlier, Kohima? Have you done this chapter earlier? Who did the embryological support for this evolution? So this embryological support means what? Embryological support means a kind of support that is actually supposedly telling you that the whole story of evolution was based on, can be linked through the mode of evolution. So this evolutionary thought was actually given by Haeckel. So Ernest Haeckel was the person, better we say Ernest Haeckel. He actually said, I've taught you this also, that he actually said that all the vertebrate embryos, what was his thought? His thought was all vertebrate embryos resemble each other in a particular phase of their life. Then we had a small story. We gave an example. That example, all vertebrate embryos have gill slits. What do they have? All the vertebrate embryos, they have gill slits. So gill slits means, have you seen a shark? I was telling you that day also, a shark has some slits over here. You must have seen a shark. I will show you this. See, this is a shark. Okay. So you must have seen this kind of gill slit present in a shark. This is not actually a shark, because its mouth needs to be ventral. That is a characteristic feature of shark or cartilaginous fish. So its mouth will be always ventral, never lateral. If the mouth is here, see, if a fish has its mouth here, it means it is a bony fish. That's a basic difference between a bony fish and a cartilaginous fish. If the mouth is at this point, this is what is lateral mouth. Lateral mouth is a characteristic feature of a bony fish. But if you are placing the mouth on the ventral position, this is from the NCERT only, last year NCERT, Animal Kingdom. So if the ventral mouth is there, that shows a cartilaginous fish. Okay. So all the cartilaginous fishes, they have their mouth on the ventral side. So this is what is this gill slit. This also has a gill slit, but it has covered it by operculum. How many of you have seen this thing? This is covered by operculum. And this is what is the gill slits, which are uncovered, which are open. So this kind of gill slits, what Ernest Haeckel was telling, that these kind of gill slits will be present in all the sharks, isn't it? All the amphibia, all the reptilia, that is reptiles, all the birds and mammals. Because why? Because these animals are all vertebrates. So they meant to say that if you are a vertebrate, you need to show these characters. That was what the story about this thing was going. This was Ernest Haeckel saying that. Next question is, what are homologous organs? So what are homologous organs? Tell me, what are homologous organs? Yes? You people answer, what is homologous organ? What is homologous organ? What are homologous organs? What are homologous organs? The next question is, give some examples. So what are homologous organs? The organs. Okay. Tetsu College, you wish to answer this question. What are homologous organs? Question number 3. Do you wish to answer this question? Tell me. Dimapur, do you wish to answer this question? Shillong, can you answer this question? What is homologous organ? An easy one. Can you answer this question? Tell me. Tetsu College, Kohima is new. I guess Kohima has not done this particular chapter in school also. No issues, we will be continuing with them today. Yes, rest of the centers. I can see Tetso College, I can see Shillong. Tell me Shillong, answer this question. Yes, very good. Shillong, what happened? Why are you not responding? What is the reason? Tell me. What are you busy in? Yes, Shillong. Why are you not responding? A simple question, but what are homologous organs? You don't even bother to get up and type. What is the issue? Tell me. Yes. Organs with important function. This is what I have taught you. How many of you are having exams? Tell me first. How many of you are having exams and got over today only? I'm going to confirm it. I'll be confirming with that thing with your coordinator. Mind it. Okay, so all of you are having exams. Okay, let me confirm it. So, we're talking about homologous organs and I got a very correct answer. Very disappointing, Shillong, very disappointing. Okay, so what are homologous organs? Organs with same structure but different functions. Very good. Very good, Kohima. Nice one. Nice one, Testo College. Very good. Keep it up. And what is Itanagar doing? Tell me. Did you do the homework? Tell me first, Itanagar. Have you done the homework? I'll be scrolling it, everything. I'll be scrolling it. But what about you? What are you doing? Yes. Did you do the homework, Itanagar? Yes. This makes me very upset. Every time I'm going home and preparing homework assignment and sending you to you people and you are like, I don't know what you are doing. Least bothered. This is going to affect your marks. Nothing to do with me. This is going to affect your board marks. These are very easy questions. If you're going to do these questions that are going to help you out, why don't you understand this simple thing? Please. Understand this thing. This is for your benefit. We are pushing you. Isn't it? You will be scoring good marks. You will be having nice rank. That is good for you in every way. Please try and understand the importance of your 12th exam. It's very, very important exam. If you are able to score good, you will be having a very, very good future. Isn't it? Okay, please try to do your assignment at least. This can be done within a week. This was very easy. In fact, I am meeting you, I guess, after 1 week. Last week I was not having class also with you. So 2 weeks for this particular assignment is like a hell lot of time. Isn't it? It's very disappointing. Tell me how many of you have done the homework? So Shillong was having its test, so no problem. But make sure from the next time you are doing your assignment. Okay, the boy, you haven't done your assignment? Shillong? The boy just came in the class. Have you done your assignment? Yes, child? Have you done your assignment? Tell me. All of you are having your exams. Exam is over now. Why? What is the reason? Why did not you do? What was the reason? What was the reason? 2 weeks and 1 assignment. What made you not do this work? Tell me first. Tell me. Tell me, child, what was the issue? I will help you out if you have any problem in understanding or any kind of issues. The topic was clear? Shillong? The topic was clear? What was taught? The topic was clear? Everybody tell me yes or no? Tell me yes or no. It was clear? It was clear? Okay, fine. So make sure from the next class you are doing the questions. Okay? Am I clear? Everybody, it's a request from my side. Your teacher is requesting. From the next class onwards, please do the homework. This is going to help you a lot. Okay, Itanagar, tell me, what is your answer for first question? I'm not going to show you the answer. You tell me what was the answer. You tell me the answer. You were there in the last class, you are going to tell me the answer. Tell me what is artificial selection? Yes, Itanagar. Answer me this question. Answer me what is artificial selection? Itanagar. So I taught you this much and you are responding me with two words, that is man domesticated. Huh? I've taught you so much. I gave you such good examples. I gave you whole things. You noted all the notes and you are answering me in two words. What is artificial selection? That is man domesticated. How is this going to work? Tell me first. Anybody can answer this question? Any other center intending to answer? I get few assignments this time, very few. Yes? Icewall is here. Tetsu College, wish to answer this question. Okay. Okay, copy then. What can be done? Copy. What is artificial selection? The selection is made, it is a mode of selection done by man, that is breeding of, yes, exactly. Nice one. Good, Shillong, very good. Nice answer. Yes, this is nice, Itanagar. What were you typing before this? This is nice. See, if you're writing an answer, there should be a proper statement, proper way of presentation. See, this is such a nice answer you have written. Create breeds that differ from other breeds. See, this actually has some sense. Okay, this is nice answer. So, copy this one, you can have that particular answer added with this answer. So, all the answers are nice. It's a selection done by, this is from Shillong. Shillong has also given a very nice answer. It's a selection done by man, example breeding of animals and agriculture of crops. Okay, nice one, similar to mine. Okay, that was what I taught you. Then we have one more answer from Itanagar, create breeds that differ from other breeds. Very good. And okay, I don't have any other answers to read out. Okay, fine. So, how many centers are logged in? One is Shillong, Itanagar, Kohima, and then we have Tetsu College. Who else is logged in? Please respond with a hi. Okay, so next question was, what I have next question? Next question was that who proposed the embryological support that evolution took place? The embryological support for evolution. So the embryological support for evolution was done by whom? Was given by Ernest Haeckel. So what did Ernest Haeckel say? He said that all the vertebrate embryos resemble each other in a particular phase of their lifetime. And the best example of it is all the vertebrate embryos have gill slits. And what are gill slits? Gill slits are these kinds of openings which are actually open in case of a cartilaginous fish like shark and closed in case of a bony fish like rohu. You must have heard about rohu. So rohu has covered gill slits by means of operculum. So this covers gill slits. Operculum covers gill slits. So this is what is called as, so I was explaining you this thing that if an animal, suppose is a vertebrate, it will be following a particular pattern of its evolution. So if it is a fish, it is going to if it is a fish, the same pattern is going to replicate in all the varieties, like in amphibians, like in reptiles, like in aves, like in mammals. So all the varieties will have a similar lineage of development, isn't it? And that is what is actually called as the embryological evidence of evolution. Then we had homologous organs. What are homologous organs? The organs which have same structure but different functions. Can you give me some examples of homologous organs? Can you give me some examples? Yes, all the centers. Please try. I have taught you so nicely. Yes, Shillong, very good. Yes, Itanagar, please answer this question. Limbs in what? As in? Limbs in what? As in limbs of what? Itanagar, Kohima, can you try this thing? You answered very nicely. The particular, exactly. Very nice, nice one. Any other answer, Itanagar? Very good, Shillong, keep it up. Any other center? Yes? Tell me. Any other center want to answer? So what can be done? There is a very good answer from Shillong. I'm copying it for you. Wings for birds, isn't it? Wings of birds and hands in humans. Is it correct or incorrect? Wings in birds and hands in humans, correct or incorrect? So, cheetah, whale, leopard and human, all of them have same structure of their limbs, but the functions vary, isn't it? That is how vary. That is, cheetah, it uses it for its running habits. Okay, whale uses it for the, exactly, Itanagar, nice one. Whale uses it for swimming. So there are wings of bats and humans also coming around. Yes. Wings of bats and hands of humans. Okay, one more answer. Good. So these are actually the particular structures which have the same origin or their formation is same, but what is the difference? The difference actually lies in the function. Same structure, different function is actually what we call as homologous organs. Okay? It's clear? Kohima, are you able to get something? So if you have same organ, that is, if you are taking example of cheetah, whale, leopard, human, all of them have same organs. The construction of their organs is same, but the difference actually lies in their particular pattern of function they are doing. So if you are taking example of cheetah, it is actually running. Whale, it is actually uses its limb in swimming. So in that way they are different. Okay. Next is, what is divergent evolution? Next question. What is divergent evolution? Tell me. I gave you a mnemonic to learn also. What is divergent evolution? This is only divergent evolution. That is, same ancestor was there and some of them started to live in water, some started to fly, some started to run, some started to walk. So this is what actually called as divergent evolution. So if you talk about homologous organs, what is divergent evolution? That is, homologous organ leads to divergent evolution. So when you're talking about homologous organs, they are actually giving rise to divergent evolution. And what is a divergent evolution? That is same structure evolves to perform different functions. This is divergent evolution. Okay, fine. Next question. Question number 5. What is biochemical evidence of evolution? Nice one again. What is biochemical evidence of evolution? See, the biochemical evidence of evolution lies in the how lizards belong? What, like, can the example be lizard? What kind of example lizard? What kind of example? Who told you lizards earlier had wings? Who told you this thing? Lizards had wings? Where did you study this thing? Lizards had wings. Tell me first this. It's not like that. That was a totally different species. See, you are a biology student, isn't it? You must be aware about a particular thing that if you're not using something, that actually starts to disappear gradually and gradually. So lizards with wings are still present. It's called as Draco. D-R-A-C-O. Draco. If you Google Draco, there will be a lizard with all around big wings on this side. So it's actually a kind of lizard which has some kind of flying capability also. Okay, but when you talk about normal wall lizards, the wall lizards were as such they are present now, isn't it? They must be a different species we are talking about. So those species either they are extinct or they must have adapted in a different way to become a different species or subspecies. Okay, so what is my next question? The next question is what is biochemical evidence of evolution? The biochemical evidence of evolution is DNA, RNA, enzymes are similar in all the organisms. So this is biochemical evidence of evolution. Next question. So did you copy up to this? All the centers? Have you copied this? Did you copy this? Question number 4. Please copy fast. Done? Okay. So come to question number 6. So how are fossils used to study evolution? So nice one. So fossils are what? First of all, what are fossils? These are dead remains of organisms that used to exist once upon a time. So how is fossil useful in studying this particular studying evolution? Obviously when you are studying fossils, you get to know many things that what was present in that particular era. So fossils help us in understanding the type of organisms prevalent on the earth at that period of time. So this was actually called as next question is this is done. Next question is, name the famous institute of paleobotany in Lucknow. Did you try this question? Tell me. Yes. Itanagar, what is the problem? Biochemical evidence of evolution, RNA, DNA, enzymes are similar in their organisms, in all organisms. What else you want to add? Tell me. What else you want to add, or you want to copy it? I guess you want to copy it. You want to add something in this answer, Itanagar? Okay, done. So come to question number 7. What is question number 7 about? Question number 7 is asking you an institute in Lucknow which is actually a center for paleobotany. Remember? Birbal Sahani Institute of Paleobotany. So Birbal Sahani Institute of Paleobotany is an institute which is present in Lucknow, and what they do is that they actually do paleobotany research. That means they are really preserving the fossils of plant origin. They keep the fossils of plant origin. Okay. Next, how can we determine the age of a fossil? Yes, tell me. How can you determine the age of the fossil? Easy one again. How can you determine the age of a fossil? Yes. What are you trying to say, Shillong? Explain this please. By how clearly the print is determining its age. I'm not able to get it. Sorry. Yes, Itanagar, answer this question. How will you determine the age of a fossil? Question number 8 from your sheet. Yes. Mommy centers are logged in. Tell me, Aizwan, are you here? Senapati? Chuachandpur, are you people here? Tell me. Yes, St. Paul. Answer this question. Hi. Answer this question. Question number 8, please. Answer this question. Lagan, are you people here logged in? Please answer this question number 8. How can we determine the age of a fossil? What are you going to do to determine the age of a fossil? Any center? Age of a fossil can be determined by what? One answer is correct. Can be partially, like comparatively. Exact age is not found, Shillong, however. Your answer is correct that its age can be determined by from the depth it is found. But how would you determine the exact age? That is in case, like I told you, that is a particular kind of thing when you are doing comparative study. So if a fossil is found very, very high in soil and one is found very low in soil, obviously the lower one will be most oldest among both of them. So this is what is actually comparative, isn't it? This is what we're doing comparative, but exact age is then also not clear. How would you say that this is 5,000 years old and this is 1,000 years old? You won't be able to say that thing, isn't it? So you need to have a proper method to do this thing, and we have a method called as carbon dating. This is called as radioactive carbon dating. Question number 9. How are thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita linked? Now tell me this question. How is thorn of bougainvillea? Thorn of bougainvillea is for defense. This is supposed to do defense. This is for defense. Isn't it? This is supposed to do defense. And tendril of cucurbita is for the means of support. So how are both of them linked? How are both of them linked together? Any idea? See, both of them are said to be analogous organs. Thorns of bougainvillea and tendril of cucurbita. Both of them are what? Both of them are analogous organs. And what are analogous organs? That is, they have they are homologous organs. Really sorry. They are homologous organs. Sorry for this. And that is, they have the same structure but different function. Exactly. So these particular thorns of bougainvillea and tendril of cucurbita, isn't it? They have their structures similar. They have same structures, but obviously the function is going to be different. Same structure, different functions gives rise to homologous organs, or these are called as homologous organs. Okay, clear? All the centers up to this? Next question, last question of the assignment. So we were talking about what are fossils? This is a repeat question, I guess. How are fossils used to study? Same kind of answers can be used. And what are fossils, and give few examples. So what are fossils? Fossils are, again, I'm writing the same answer. Fossils are dead remains of organisms that used to exist once upon a time. Give few examples of fossils. Tell me. Examples of dinosaurs. Many different kinds of gymnosperms used to exist in Ice Age. Okay. Many kinds of gymnosperms. Now also we have, but many kinds of them were present at that particular time. Yes. No, fossils are petroleum exactly, but petroleum is actually the compressed product, isn't it? So fossil, exactly fossil we cannot say petroleum, but it is petroleum is converted product. Okay? So done with copying all the centers? Yes, children? Done with copying? Some variety of gymnosperms used to exist once upon a time. Some varieties, not all of them, but they were not able to convert themselves, change themselves, and they actually got extinct. Okay, I'm just giving an example of gymnos. There are many other plants also. It was my mood to write gymnosperms. You can take this way also. So I wanted to write gymnosperms out of them. There were many plants as such. There were many angiosperms also which are fossils now. But I wanted to write gymnosperms. Many gymnosperms in fact, many different kinds. So we have gymnosperms among ourselves. In fact, all the carotin, yes. Ginkgo tree is not a fossil. It's a living fossil. We had a very, very detailed discussion on fossil and living fossil, and I guess that must be clear by now. Living fossil is a different thing and fossil is a different thing. When we talk about fossil, fossils are actually no more among us. But when we talk about living fossils, the living fossils are very much alive, but they exist in the form they were created by the nature at that particular point of time. So if I was suppose for example, I was a living fossil, so I must be created by nature in the same form. But I am not, because obviously when human evolved, my evolution was also exactly arthropods. There are many examples. Nice one. Good. Keep it up. Shillong. Good. I don't know why did not you do the assignment, but you are writing so nicely the answers. It seems you are going very, very good, but you don't want to do assignment. Is it of that sort? Isn't it? You're writing so good answers in the class, but why are you not doing assignment? Okay, from next time, please be sure you're writing the assignments also. You're writing good, you're doing good, you will do good. Okay? So let us resume the class. We'll done with the discussion, done with the assignment, everything. Let us resume the class. So till now, do you have any doubts? Just let me know, do you have any doubts till now? Do you want any clarification from any particular part, any particular point? Any clarification? Yes, children, tell me. Shillong, Itanagar. Just mind me if I miss your center, because I'm not able to see every center logged in. Those who are having conversation, I can see only them. Yes, Shillong, Kohima, St. Paul's, Itanagar, Tetso College. Tell me. Up to here, we have any doubts? Or shall I resume the class? Tell me please. Okay. No reply means no doubts. Okay, fine. And where is Aizwal today? Aizwal? Yes, Kohima. Kohima, are you understanding this chapter? So this is the first class of evolution with us. Are you understanding the chapter? So we had many theories, we had many different kinds of thoughts in our mind that this way the evolution must have taken place, that way, and all those things. But what theory was actually very, very what we can say is appraised from the public, what was very much widely accepted from the people, was a theory of natural selection. The theory of natural selection was actually very welcomed very warm-heartedly, because this particular theory was actually supported by many different types of examples. I will be like doing one by one all the examples with you. You will understand the importance of natural selection in the process of evolution after this particular examples. All these examples, you come to know this thing. So first, the case was there was a case of industrial revolution. Rather industrial revolution, why should we write industrial revolution? We will write industrial melanism. Now what is melanism? Melanin is a particular pigment that gives a characteristic color to your skin. That is the complexion what we actually have. Some of us are whitish in color, some of us are dark in color. Like if I am having this particular color, you are having a different color. That is basically because of the melanin. I must be having more melanin compared to you, or you must be having more melanin compared to me. So that is what is called as melanism. So how is this linked? So what actually happened, there was an era, you must have studied in history, in the era of 1850s. Okay, in this era, this was like the time period before industrial revolution. What happened? There were two varieties of moth. What were two varieties of moth? There were two varieties of moth. What were they? One was white-winged and the other was dark-winged. The story actually dark-winged or melanized moth. So they were having melanin more in their pigmentation. So this white-winged moth before industrial revolution, that is in 1850s, was more in number, but this melanized moth was less in number. This was a scenario. Why? Any idea why was this? Why was this? Why was the number of white-winged moth more after industrial revolution, before industrial revolution, and the black were less? Any idea? What might be the reason? Yes, any idea? Tell me. Any idea why was this happening? Okay, have you seen a zebra? Have you seen a zebra? Tell me, have you seen a zebra? Obviously not in wild, but on TV. Have you seen a zebra on TV? Tell me yes or no. Yes, Shillong is raising hand. That means they have seen. Yes, St. Paul's has also seen. And rest of the people, Kohima, have you seen a zebra on TV? Okay. And what about the rest centers? Have you seen a zebra on TV? So, zebra has stripes on its body. Have you noticed? What is the advantage of those stripes? What is the advantage of those stripes? Yes, you must have seen. Tell you what advantage? They actually hide it in the background. Isn't it? Those stripes, they help the zebra to hide in the background. So they are actually able to hide from their predators because of that particular stripe background. So if their stripes are present on their body, that stripe helps it to camouflage. Camouflage means just to mingle with the background and be invisible or become least visible. That is what is called as camouflaging. Similarly, have you seen chameleon? You must have seen a particular lizard which changes its color. Have you seen that? A lizard changing its color. If the background is green, it turns green. Yes, you must have seen that. So that is what is called as camouflage. That is what is called as mimicry. So what actually happened in 1850s, before industrial revolution was happening, there was two variety of moth. One was white-winged moth and other was dark-winged moth. Now, what happened? The industrial revolution took place. So, after industrial revolution in 1920s, what happened after 1920s? After industrial revolution, the white-winged moth decreased, but dark-winged moth increased in their population. So this is what thing happened. So now what was the scenario? The scenario was something that the white wings moth was less, and dark-winged moth was more in number. Okay. So now a story started. What started? Before industrial revolution, the white-winged moth was more and dark was less. And after industrial revolution in 1920s, what happened? The dark-winged moth was more and white was less. Any idea why? Why is that happening? In short, what I mean to say is that population is getting reversed. Isn't it? Earlier, there was more of white. Later, there was less of white. Earlier, there was less of black. Later, it was more of black. Why? Any reason? Tell me why. Yes? Try. Why it is happening? Try please, everybody. Try this. Why is this happening? Yes, very good, Shillong. Yes, Itanagar, please try. Why is this happening? St. Paul's, Kohima. Kohima, this is an equally new topic for them also. So, you also can try. So, they are also actually on a new topic. You are also on a new topic. So, you can just start fresh. You are equally new. You are having equally potential. Isn't it? So, just try. Yes, St. Paul's. Yes, good. Very good, Shillong. Very good, Kohima. Ah, no. Kohima, this is not a story. Okay. No, Kohima. Yes, St. Paul's. Okay, nice. Very good. So you're trying nice. Like it? Very good. Keep it up. Okay. So out of all the answers, they're very good answers. See, one is telling us that there was a soot from the tree trunk which actually made the trees darker, and the white ones got replaced by, easily noticed by their predators. Yes, any other center they want to give a try? Yes, children? Tell me. Yes, I have one more answer from St. Paul's. Good. Very nice. What is that answer? St. Paul's, what do you want to say? That so due to heavy smoke and sulfur dioxide, what happened? Yes, good one. Did you Google this? Tell me honestly, St. Paul's, did you Google this? Tell me honestly, St. Paul, did you Google this answer? Sure? Are you sure? Nice one, good. If you did not, it's very nice answer, very good. Keep it up. So what actually happened? Good. Keep it up. Everybody, very nice answer, very nice try. And what about Naharlagan? Naharlagan, you people are not speaking. What happened? Not answering anything. Tell me, what happened? What is the problem, Naharlagan? Are you people there? Yes, Naharlagan? Are you people there? Please answer. Yes, nice. Very good, St. Paul's. Okay, so what actually happened? See, I will not go into that particular story now, sulfur dioxide and all those things. So what actually happened, I will be giving you just a particular background. What actually happened, the first and foremost thing, whenever you are supposed to work with industry, whenever you are seeing an industry, you must have seen a whole lot of black soot coming outside, isn't it? Soot means unburned carbon. So all that unburned carbon is released in the atmosphere and that gets deposited on the tree trunks. Now just imagine a condition, earlier the tree trunk was very, very light in color. So it was light in color and it was able to actually hide many of the white-winged moth. That is, you are not able to select or notice the white-winged moth on the light tree trunk, isn't it? And gradually the tree trunks, they started to become black. And because of that soot deposition, what happened is the white ones were now very easily selected by the predators. They were eaten away. And obviously if its population is declining, obviously its reproductive capacity will also decline, isn't it? So if the population is in decline, the individuals are dying, how would you expect that population will increase? So their population started to gradually decline, and the black ones, which earlier were targets of the particular predators, now were not. Now they were actually able to hide themselves on the black tree trunks, isn't it? So this particular thing actually made the whole reversal of the population, and this story is actually called as industrial melanism. If you go somewhat more deeper in the story, like I got an answer, very good answer from St. Paul's, I will read it. They are writing that with industrial revolution, the coal was replaced by oil, and due to heavy smoke and sulfur dioxide, the tree trunk become dark. And because of this, obviously the tree trunk became dark, and this actually resulted in the decline of the white wing moth and rise of the black wing moth. One more story is there apart from this. There was a white color of the tree trunk. You might be having the particular thing in your mind that what is the particular white color in the tree trunk. Let me this is a very easy topic. What happened? Let us start the story before Industrial Revolution. So, before Industrial Revolution, what was the part of the story? It was said that the tree trunks were, how many of you know that air pollution indicators are lichen? The tree trunks were covered by, lichens. How many of you know this thing? What are lichens? How many of you know? Lichens are air pollution indicators. Okay? And lichens are not able to survive in air pollution. And especially air pollution means, like St. Paul's has mentioned, sulfur dioxide. So if an area has more of air pollution, has more of sulfur dioxide, you will not find lichens in that area. So lichens are said to be what? Lichens are said to be air pollution indicators. Okay? So what happened? The tree trunks were covered by lichens, and because of this, what happened is the tree trunks were somewhat white in color. No, it's not symbiont relationship. No, don't confuse, please. Okay, as such, lichen is having a symbiotic relationship. I thought you were talking in terms with trees. No, lichen is it's very much correct. Lichen is a symbiotic relationship example where an algae and a fungi, they live in close association in such a way that you cannot make out that they are totally two different species, isn't it? Exactly. Very good. Yes, Itanagar, nice. So, tree trunks were white in color and they were able to hide the white winged moth. So all the white winged moth, they were able to hide behind the what? They were able to hide behind the particular white lichen covered tree trunks. Okay? And the most important thing happened what? And the black, or we can say the dark winged moth, were picked by their predators. So their predators were able to pick them, they were able to eat, and thus the particular population of black ones were low and the white ones were high. So what happened after Industrial Revolution? Next part of the story. So after Industrial Revolution, the tree trunks were covered by soot and the white-winged moth was not able to what? Camouflage. Camouflage means hide. And the dark-winged ones were able to. So all this scenario happened. So this was the whole story of Industrial Revolution. So the most important part of this story is this thing, that lichens are the pollution indicators. This can be asked in your competitive exams. If you are appearing or you have an intent to appear, you need to keep in account these particular important things. Okay. So Naharlagun, Itanagar, Aizawl, Shillong, Senapati, Kohima, St. Paul's. Do you have any doubt up to this? Tell me. Kohima, are you able to understand? Since this is your first class, tell me, are you able to understand the things, what is going on? Tell me if you are able to understand the things what are going. Yes, Kohima? Okay, nice. Copy it. Next slide. Let me know if you are not done with copying. Just let me know. Done with copying, everybody, all the centers. Shall I move ahead? So, if you're conducting a study in only one area and you're getting results, that is not going to fulfill the motto of science. What science needs is, science needs repetition of the results. So, if one result is coming, suppose from one area, XYZ, I need to have the same result from other area also. So, if Shillong is giving the same result, I need Kohima also to give the same kind of results. Naharlagun also, Tamenglong also. I want all the particular places to give the same result to a certain my thought, a certain my view process, isn't it? So similarly, what was done, so there was a study supported, isn't it? The study was supported by the facts that, so you are going to countrysides now, you are going to villages, that areas that do not have industrial revolution had no or low melanic moths. So this is particular certainty we are actually getting, that see, the areas which do not have this particular kind of industrial revolution, those areas which do not show industrial revolution, they actually had very, very low or no melanic moths. So the melanin containing moths were actually very, very less in these regions, in these areas. This was supported by the further studies. So if the countrysides were taken, the villages were taken, the villages, they don't have any melanic moth. That clearly shows that melanin producing pigments were, or melanin particular moth were mainly dominant in those areas which were having very, very high industrial evolution chances, isn't it? The more industrial evolution, the lesser white variety. But most important thing again to note over here is, what is the most important thing important to note is that none of the varieties got wiped out completely. So you talk about any variety that was actually existing and none of the varieties were wiped out completely. That none varieties got wiped out completely. So this was the particular point to be noted in all these studies, that there was a particular balance made between the white one and the black one in such a way that sometimes the white actually increased in their number and sometimes the black one increased their number. So the ones which can adapt better in an environment can survive and thus reproduce. So the only criteria for survival is adaptation. So the ones which can adapt, they would be able to survive, and those who are surviving, they will be able to reproduce. So this was actually the whole scenario which led to the evolution of the species by natural selection. So this is very, very interesting fact. So if you are able to adapt, you are going to survive, and if you are going to survive, obviously you are going to leave more progeny behind of your type. So any organism which is able to survive will be only able to survive when they are able to adapt. So reproduction requires survival. Otherwise, if they are not able to adapt, what is going to happen? They are going to get extinct from the population. And if somebody is extinct, how would they reproduce? The whole phenomenon will be wrong then. This reproduction process will not take place. So for the process of extinction, for the process of survival, one requires to adapt. One requires to input certain variations, and because of those variations only you will be able to survive. And those who are surviving, they will be able to reproduce further. Okay, am I clear up to this? All the centers? So this was what Darwin actually had as a support in natural selection from one of the best examples of industrial melanism. So industrial melanism is actually a very good example to make you understand the role of natural selection in evolution. How did natural selection help? So if the white varieties were selected naturally earlier, they used to survive, and later onwards the black varieties were selected naturally, they were able to survive. Now next example comes from excess of herbicides and pesticides. So we have herbicides and pesticides. We all know agriculture nowadays is actually impossible without the use of herbicides and pesticides. And if you are doing, it's very good. It's called as organic farming. So excess use of herbicides and pesticides resulted in the selection of okay, can you explain this thing, what I've written? Excess use of or excess of herbicide and pesticide resulted in selection of resistant varieties in a less time. Tell me, what kind of resistant varieties? Of plants or of what is herbicide? Tell me first. What is a herbicide? Yes, the child sitting at last bench in Shillong. Tell me, what is herbicide? Child sitting on the last bench in Shillong. Yes, boy? Yes, child, tell me, what is herbicide? What is pesticide? Other centers also, please try. What is herbicide and what is pesticide? Herbi means what? Herbi means herbs. Pesti is what? Pesti is pest. Side means something which is killing it, isn't it? Side means something which is killing it. Now what is happening if you are continuously using the same variety of herbicide and pesticide? What would happen? It is actually a kind of exposure, repeated exposure you are giving. So if you are repeatedly exposing something, isn't it? You are repeatedly exposing a particular herb to a particular herbicide, that herb will gradually become resistant. For example, if you are going in sun for days regularly, so after a particular point of time, you will be actually having very less effects of sun. And if you are not moving out in sun for many days together, you will be again having resistance towards sun. You will have a problem if you go in sun. So this is what is called as herbicide. Herbicide is a particular chemical which is used to kill the herbs. Pesticide is a chemical which is used to kill the pests. Pests which actually feed on our crops and make our yield lower and lower. So if you are always using the same herbicide and pesticide, what you are going to do is that you will be selecting certain varieties of plants which will be resistant to herbicide. You will be selecting certain particular varieties of pests which will be having no effect of that pesticide. So resulted in selection of resistant varieties. What kind of resistant varieties? This was resistant herbs and what? Resistant pests. So these pests, these herbs, they don't have anything to do now with the particular herbicide to which they are now resistant, isn't it? Exactly. So this is what is actually the thing happening when you are using excess of herbicide. So do you support using herbicide and pesticide? What do you say, children? Should we use many herbicides and pesticides? Yes, Kohima, what do you think? Shillong? Tetsu College is not responding today. What is the reason? What happened? Tetsu College, you are not responding. Tell me, Tetsu College, what do you think? Let's have a public polling. What do you think? Shall we use herbicides and pesticides? White is good, na? The more herbicide you are using, The more herbs are like not harming your crops, the more pesticide you are using, it is actually beneficial in protecting your plants from crops, isn't it? It should be useful or harmful. Rest of the centers, what do you think? Itanagar? St. Paul's? Senapati? Naharlagan? Harmful for soil as well. Yes, they are harmful for soil as well. Exactly. But actually they are going to, at one point of time, they are going to develop some resistance. You agree or not? Like suppose in 10 years, 20 years, yes, and they are harmful to soils as well. Shillong, you are typing but I'm not receiving your answers. Is the connection properly connected? You're typing every time, but I'm not getting, the child was also typing on the last bench. I did not get any response. Just cross check if you are able to type or not. Just cross check because I did not get anything. You got up, you typed something, you went back, but I did not get anything on the screen. Just cross check. Okay, fine. So this is obviously a bad practice. We should not use too many pesticides. We should not use too many herbicides. Why? Because this is actually going to give rise to new varieties of resistant pests and herbs that are not going to listen to you now. Next, we have microbes. The microbes are actually treated by antibiotics and drugs. And these antibiotics and drugs, they resulted in what? What they resulted in? Change in population. And only the resistant ones were able to survive. So, what happened? You must have heard about a drug yes. Nice, good answers. Good. Soil will not become fertile further. Nice. Soil is harmful. Exactly. Soil will be harmed. The number of chemicals you are using on the soil, that soil actually has a revert back effect. Because it can affect the food chain. Yes, it affects the food chain as well. Nice one. Good. So microbes, what microbes are? Microbes are the particular organisms which are killed by antibiotics and drugs. Now same thing is happening with microbes also. Number of times they are actually encountering the same drug. For example, suppose penicillin. So penicillin is now not effective in our population. You must be aware about it. Penicillin, nobody prescribes a penicillin now. Why? Because penicillin is not effective in the population. All the microorganisms that we have today existing, they are all resistant to penicillin. They will not have any action on the penicillin. If you're giving them penicillin, it's like giving them toffee chocolates. Okay. So penicillin is actually was the first drug which was the first antibiotic discovered by Alexander Fleming. But gradually what happened, people started to use it in a rampant manner, in a very, very widespread manner, and gradually the microbes came to know about it. So the sensitive microbes, they got wiped up from the population, they were removed from the population, leaving behind the resistant ones. So the population has a mixed kind of variety. Now if I take an example of your class only, your class has like different kinds of children, different kinds of students, but the capacity of every student is not the same. Do you agree with me? Isn't it? The capacity of every student is not the same. Do you agree with me? Some of you are actually, if I leave you in sun, some of you will be, okay, fine. You can stand the sun for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Isn't it? But some of you might fall within first 30 minutes only. They start to feel dizzy, feel vomiting, nauseatic, and all those things within first 30 minutes. So everybody's capacity is not same, and same is the thing with microbes as well. So if I'm having a group of 5 microbes, say, some of them will actually be very, very resistant to the microbes. They can stand the microbe for a very, they can be very resistant to the antibiotic. They can stand high dose of antibiotic as well. But some of them will be very, very weak. They will be like just one dose of antibiotic and they will be gone, wiped off. So this is actually what is happening, that when you are treating, when you are using an antibiotic, this actually gives exposure to a particular population, a particular group of microorganisms, and all of them, they respond in a similar, different way. The resistant ones, they are responding in a different way, and the sensitive ones are responding in a different way. The sensitive ones, they will be killed off. They will be wiped off. They will go away from the population. They will become extinct. What to say? But if you talk about the resistant ones, they are the ones which will actually withstand, and they will actually increase your problems and make you antibiotic resistant, make a particular species antibiotic resistant. So if you are having penicillin now, it's having no effect on your body. Why? Because the microorganisms, the sensitive ones have been wiped off, and the ones which are left, they are the resistant ones. Tell me if things are clear or not. Tell me. Things are clear, all the centers? So, what conclusion I am drawing from the 3 examples I gave you just now, when I was talking about natural selection, thus we can conclude, what conclusion we can draw? That, evolution is not a directed process, based on chance events, but it is a planned process or eventful process based on chance events in nature and chance mutation in organisms. So we talk about this thing. So evolution is not a directed process based on events. So it's not like events will be telling what is evolution, somewhat like this. It's not like this, that evolution is a directed process or taking place with events. But what is evolution? Evolution is actually based on chance events and chance mutation. So what nature is doing? Chance events in nature. So nature is also playing a very important role. So evolution is a process which is basically having 2 main components. The chance events should take place in the nature and the chance mutations should take place in the organism. So when both the factors come together, it's the force which leads to evolution. These are 2 stories which are actually told about evolution. So evolution is not a very, very simple thing. That is what is actually happening by directed events, that this should follow this and that. It's not like that. But evolution is what? Evolution is based on chance events. So whatever happens by chance in nature, it should not be planned. It never seems to follow a particular path. But it is actually based on chance events in nature, like by chance the industrial revolution took place. By chance you are using drugs. By chance you are using herbicides and pesticides. So chance mutation in organisms and chance events in nature give rise to evolution. Okay? First copy this and I will be giving you a break. Tell me things are clear. Copy this, then I will be giving you a break. So always Shillong Center asking for a break. Is it like that? So always Shillong Center asking for. I was also I also wished for a break. I know. But why is it like that? Always the instigation for the break comes from Shillong. I was supposedly going to give you a break, but before that, Shillong was ready to have a break. What happened? Tired. She's sleeping. Okay, I can see her. Why? Just knock her. Ask her to get up. She cannot sleep in class. Ask her to get up. Yes, child. Why are you sleeping in the class? Natural selection is so boring, you are sleeping in the class or you are tired. Huh? This whole process is so boring. Natural selection is like, oh my God. Feeling so sleepy. Okay, fine. So did you copy this? Yes, I know you must be tired the whole day you are at school. I understand. It's okay. But yes, please pay attention here also. Okay. Rest of the centers, tell me, are the things clear? Tell me, are the things clear? Kohima. So Kohima, how you're finding this chapter evolution? How is it? We're clear. Okay, fine. So how you're finding this chapter? Is it good? Your friends are studying this chapter since 2-3 classes. This is like first class for you. And we are having a very interesting topic, this natural selection. So natural selection examples, how many examples? You need to give 3 examples. Okay, I will be giving that before the ending of the class as well. I will keep that in mind. Yes, sure, I will be giving that. Just remind me 10 minutes before the class is over. So we are having 3 different parts of natural selection, 3 examples of natural selection. The first is what? The first is the industrial mechanism, where you can just follow this Kohima, as well. This is a kind of summary only. So evidences of natural selection was, first we started with the process of evolution when I talked about natural selection, and then we started with first example, that was the example from the industrial mechanism, which took place, this particular industrial revolution took place in England. So in 1850s, what happened? In 1850s, there were 2 varieties of moth. The first variety was actually a black colored or black winged, and the second was white. So earlier the population of black was less, the black was more and white was less. Later onwards, what happened after industrial revolution took place, what happened is the white ones, they started to show a decrease in population, and the black ones, they started to show an increase in population. So why was this decrease and increase? This decrease and increase was because of a phenomenon where the tree trunks started to turn black because of the soot from the factories, from the industries, and after this the black ones were easily able to hide, isn't it? Earlier the white ones were able to hide. Now after industrial revolution, the black ones were able to hide. Now once the black ones are able to hide, what is happening? The predators are not able to pick them. They are not able to kill them. So the population started to increase. The second example was from the herbicide and pesticide. The herbicide and pesticide, the more you use, the more resistance the pest develops, the herb develops. So what happens is, if I am a herb and you're continuously giving me the same herbicide, what would happen after some generation? I will start to show resistance. I will have some or other mechanism in such a way that I will push that herbicide away and I will be safe. That is what is happening. Then third example was of antibiotic resistance shown by the microorganisms. What was happening there? The story was similar, that more you are giving the antibiotics, more the particular microbe knows about it, the more it starts to repel it back, the more it starts to show no effect. So I gave an example of penicillin, which was the first antibiotic discovered. Now if you are using penicillin, it's of no use, because all the microorganisms are actually resistant to penicillin. This was the whole summary of the class, what we did today till now. Obviously, we will be continuing this after a short break. Take a break of 10 minutes. Okay, we'll resume after 10 minutes. Be sure to come after 10 minutes. Okay, come back after break. Refreshed? Children? Okay. So are you having a test this week? I don't know. I'm also unaware about it. Tell me. What is the test topic? Tell me. What is the test topic? Yes, Shillong? What is the test topic? Tell me. I don't know. You have a test? I don't know. I'm really sorry. Okay, chemistry test is there. So I'm not teaching you chemistry. How could I inform you? But yes, I will make sure. I will tell the coordinator that in case. But it's a start of week, child. Why are you so worried? Tuesday is the starting of week. You have Tuesday night. You have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have whole 3.5 days to study. Why are you so scared? Huh? Why do you say scared? All of you. Don't be. Don't be. Okay? It's not of don't get so tensed. You know everything. You are doing assignments. You are doing regular classes. Have confidence on yourself. Okay? You are grown-ups now. 4 days are more than sufficient to study for a test. Trust me. Don't get scared of negative marking, but don't try to attempt a question on inky pinky ponky. Okay? Don't make all those things. Don't make guesses. This Saturday is bio test. I'm not aware about it. I'm really sorry. Which chapter? I'm not aware. I will just confirm this within today only, and I will be don't worry. I will make a very easy paper. Don't worry. Whatever I have taught, I will be asking those questions only. Okay? Don't be tense. Don't worry. I'm not aware of the portion myself. I will just call the coordinator. Let me get in touch of the coordinator. What is going on? If there is a test, don't worry. If Saturday is a bio test, don't worry about it. It will be a very, very easy paper. Whatever I have taught, I will be asking those questions only. Okay? Don't worry about it. Okay? Fine? I have no idea, child. I have no idea what is the test going to be on this Saturday. But yes, I will make sure that you are communicated well beforehand so that you can prepare for the test. This is of concern. Exactly. At least you should get 4 days to complete for a particular chapter, to study for a complete chapter. I understand. Okay. So, is my syllabus for ISWAL, is my syllabus for your exam covered? Tell me. Is my syllabus for your exam covered? Do you want any kind of help from me? Any kind of notes, any kind of help, any kind of extra things? What is syllabus ISWAL, first of all? Don't be tensed. What is left, ISWAL? Tell me what is left. I will be giving you notes for those chapters. So you are just writing all things. ISWAL is writing everything in caps lock on so that I can feel the particular emotions they are having. Yes, I am feeling it. I understand. It's very, very scary. 5, 6, 8 and 9. See what chapter I am doing? What is chapter I am doing with you? Tell me. What is this chapter I am doing? 7. So this is not in your syllabus. I will be giving you notes for 8. Don't worry. Okay? I will be providing you notes for 8. What is chapter number 9? Tell me. What is chapter number 9? I will be Human Health and Disease is chapter 8. I am sure about it. And what is chapter number 9? Microbes in Human Welfare. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 I have done. I have given you notes also, Itanagar. Chapter 4 I have done. Human Health, yes, I will be giving you notes for that. Human Health, don't worry. I will be providing you notes within this week only. Rest, what is 9? Microbes in Human Welfare. Or 9 is biotechnology, I guess. Strategies for enhancement. Huh? That is an easy chapter. Don't worry. I will be giving you notes for that too. Don't worry about it. Okay, ISWAL, relax. Just complete your 5 and 6 chapter very nicely. I will be within this week giving you chapter 8. But yes, in the meantime, keep on studying from your NCERT as well. Yes, I remember microbes in human welfare. Yes. Chapter 6 is molecular basis of inheritance. That will be done by your botany teacher. Vineet sir will be covering that topic. Okay, just you can ask Vineet sir to, you can just remind him of this thing. He will help you out with this. You have to speak to your teachers for these things, okay? If you have any problem, if you have any doubts, if you need notes, you have to speak to us. And there are so many centers, there are so many states rather. So how would we know that which of the states are running their exams, which schools are running their exams? So you need to tell us, and yes, we are here to help you out also. No worries, don't worry, don't get tensed. Okay, be cool. Those people who are having chapter 7 as their syllabus, we can just finish off this chapter as soon as possible. For the rest of the people, I will be giving you notes, don't worry. Obviously for my syllabus, strategies I will help you out, no issues. My human health and disease I will help you out. Any other center who is terrified with exam? Any other center who is terrified with exam? Tell me. I will talk. Yes, chapter 7 is included, then you study this chapter. No, you study this chapter nicely. I am teaching you to study this chapter. I will be giving you notes for 8th. And 9th is a very small chapter. So you can ask me doubts on the WhatsApp group, or otherwise on the next class, you can just come back after reading the book and you can ask me all those things. Sort of summary of all chapters. Okay, fine. Let's see if time permits me. Okay, so let's come back. Come back. So you people are like, it seems you are very, very terrified. I got your point. And what is the date your exam is starting, Aizwal? So this Saturday is test. Test from Avanti, from our side. It's a test from our side, from Avanti's side. Bio test. Okay, I will try to give you as soon as possible, don't worry. Okay, come back to topic. Let's finish up this chapter at least. This is also a syllabus in your exam. So, all these stories actually gave a very, very good perspective into Darwin's approach, into Darwin's view. So, what was Darwin thinking about? Darwin was actually thinking about a mechanism of evolution. All these stories are actually telling you about the mechanism of evolution. Mechanism means how did the evolution took place, how this whole thing of changing, surviving and reproduction was working. This was what Darwin's idea. So gradually what happened, there was another story being written by Darwin that was called as adaptive radiation. So the first question what comes in my mind when I hear adaptive radiation is, what is adaptive radiation? How would you define adaptive radiation? How are you going to tell what is adaptive radiation? So Darwin was on his journey. He have done this thing. Okay. Where? On the Galapagos Island. So something very unique happened on Galapagos Island. What did he found? He found a group of finches. Finches means small birds. Okay. He found finches. These were of different varieties. These are of different varieties present on the island. In that case, if you are having your test, if you are having your exam, you should have a particular kind of test that is exactly replicating your exam pattern. Isn't it? You should have a test at Avanti that is basically going to cover the exam pattern you are going to handle now. Isn't it? so that you can have practice questions. So what you can do is that the chapters which have been completed, you can just keep on revising them, and we will be having tests of those chapters. That's good for you. You will be having a revision prior hand, so that you can have an idea what kind of questions can come, and we will be discussing those questions if you have doubts, isn't it? So I will make sure, just on your respective groups, tell me what are the chapters you are having for test. You have all respective groups. You can talk to me on those groups. What are the chapters? You just mention those chapter names. I will not be wasting your time of class. You just tell me the chapter names on the groups for which your school is conducting exam this time. And those centers whose exams are not being conducted now, they can have rest. Okay, not in terms of like not studying while rest, but in terms of like they need not reply me anything. The centers who are having tests, they will reply me the names of the chapters, and I will respond to them accordingly. Okay, make sure you are doing this by today evening, so that can problem be sorted. If you are coming with that thing 4 days after, the problem will actually aggravate. It will not be resolved. Okay? Okay, let's see as well, no issues, don't worry. Okay, you can always see the recordings, isn't it? We have a spreadsheet of recordings, no problem. You can always see the recordings, and you can always talk to us on the WhatsApp group. So no, don't worry, don't be tensed, just relax, study hard. Now what is happening, he found finches, and these finches were actually of very different varieties. But what he's found is, actually first of all he named his finches, and he called these finches to be Darwin's finches. So he's a smart person. What he did, he quickly named these finches on his own name, smart man, and he called them to be what? He called them to be Darwin's finches. So Darwin's finches were discovered in this way. So what he found that the pattern of beak in the finches, in one of the finches, was similar. If you talk about, like, he thought that one of the finches came from the, since it was an island, came from the mainland and started to show adaptations in the beak pattern. Okay, so it started to show adaptation in its beak patterns. Okay, no problem, Aizwal. You are always there. You'll be always able to join the classes or see the recordings. So you can see the recordings, and accordingly you can ask the questions from those classes which you have missed. That's an advantage of these kind of classes, isn't it? You will not miss out anything. You will be always with us. You can always be with us. We will give you the recordings, and you can see and refer easily. And obviously we are on the groups, so if in case of any doubt, any problem, you are free to ask us. Okay? So this finch which came from the mainland, Darwin said that this was a seed-eating finch. This was a seed-eating finch. So Darwin made a story. What kind of story Darwin made? Darwin made a story that there was variation in beak, the structure of the beak. Have you noticed a parrot has a different type of beak, a pigeon has a different type of beak, a vulture has a different type of beak? Why? Have you noticed this thing ever? All the birds, they have a different type of beak. They have different types of beak. Have you noticed this thing? Yes, you must have. Why? Because all of them have different feeding habits. So if I am feeding on grains, I will not be having a very, very pointed beak like this. See, I will not be having a pointed beak. I will be having a small beak like this. So this is a characteristic feature what a bird is actually supposed to have based on its eating habits. Similar to animals, what kind of teeth we have. If I am a carnivore, I will be having many canines. I will be having many canines. Why? Because I need to tear the flesh But if I am a herbivore, I will not be having canine. Why? Because I don't eat flesh. Why would I have canine? So similar kind of things started to happen and show variations or adaptations, and some of them actually were insectivorous, that is eating insects, and some of them were actually vegetarian finches. So what is the specialty? Why they are turning out to be different things? Obviously, so that everybody can survive on the island. So if everybody is eating, suppose everybody is eating seeds, what would happen? The seeds one day would extinct and the seeds would finish, and what would happen? All the finches would die. So what the finches were very smart. What they started to do is that they started to show variation in their beak size, in their beak shape, and gradually they showed changes in their food habit, so that one food is not utilized. They utilize multiple food. They have, some of them are eating insects, some of them are eating fruits, frugivorous, some of them are eating seeds. Okay, so this was actually the strategy of the finches, and this was an example of adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation means the adaptation, and from the adaptation there were different varieties adapting out. So there was one finch which was parental form, and from this finch we had many different forms of finches, somewhat like this. This is the exact replication of the adaptive finches. Okay? So if a question comes to you, what is adaptive radiation? You are going to define that adaptive radiation is the process of evolution of different species in same geographical area So the geographical area should always be same. It's all happening on the Galapagos Island. In the same geographical area, and this is what is called as what? This is called as adaptive radiation. Am I clear all the centers? Am I clear? St. Paul's, Aizawl, Kohima, Shillong, Naharlagun. So what we have is, we have same geographical area. Itanagar, am I clear? Tell me if I am not, I will be explaining you again. I must be, I guess. So the process of evolution of different species in the same geographical area is called as adaptive radiation. So the first and foremost example was of what? Was of Darwin's finches. This was the first example. The next example for adaptive radiation comes from Australian marsupials. So what are Australian marsupials? Do you know what are marsupials? Marsupials are the animals which pouched placenta, pouches. So they have a placenta which is very, very less developed, so they are not able to bring about their children up to very, very long time. So they give birth to very premature fetus, very premature child, and that child is actually brought about in a pouch-like structure outside their body, similar to kangaroo. So marsupials, the most common example of marsupial is actually kangaroo. But yes, marsupials are not only kangaroo, but there are many other species also that are counted among the marsupials. This is one of the examples. So what happened in Australian marsupials? The story of marsupials. There were many marsupials evolving. From ancestral stock, and this everything was happening in what part? All in Australia. So you must be aware Australia is a continent. So all was happening in Australia, island continent. And further what happened? This was taking place. Are you getting whatever is being taught? Tell me. Shillong, Aizawl, Itanagar, Naharlagun, St. Paul's. So what happened is Australian marsupials, many marsupials evolving from a single ancestral stock. So if there was an ancestor similar to the Darwin finches we will be encountering. So there was an ancestor and that was evolving into different kinds of marsupials. So this was marsupial evolution. Now kangaroo is related to evolution, not kangaroo, but many species like they have anteater, they have bandicoot, they have many different species and all of them are actually having pouches. Kangaroo is one of the examples. There are many species which are having pouches and they bring on their new young ones like that in a similar way as kangaroo. Since we know kangaroo very well, I gave you an example of kangaroo. Okay, that was the reason I taught you kangaroo. But there are more animals who have pouches and all of them are called as marsupials. So what is happening now? There's a new thing coming in on the way. This is called as convergent evolution. So what you have studied, remember, you have studied that whenever there is adaptive radiation, this leads to what? Whenever there is adaptive radiation, this leads to what? Divergent evolution. I've taught you this, that whenever there is adaptive radiation, there is divergent evolution, isn't it? Adaptation leads to more diverse form of species. My question is, when is adaptive radiation leading to divergent is always so when is adaptive radiation leading to convergent evolution? This is my question. When is adaptive radiation leading to convergent evolution? Tell me. When do you find adaptive radiation? Because what we have been through all now is that adaptive radiation always leads to divergent evolution. But when is adaptive radiation leading to convergent evolution? Tell me. There must be a point. Let's see the answer. Adaptive radiation is called as convergent evolution when more than one adaptive radiation appears in the same geographical area and obviously in different habitat. Habitat should not be same. In different habitat. So suppose there is a particular geographical area, okay, where there is marsupial evolution going on. Marsupials, you know, one of the examples I have taught you. Convergent evolution means a kind of evolution where you are leading towards the same point. I gave an example of analogous organs in the last class. So if you talk about, say, sweet potato and potato, both sweet potato and potato are different structures. Why? Because sweet potato is a root and potato is a stem. But both of them are actually doing the same thing. What kind of same thing? They are storing the food reserve for the plant during the dormant stages. So both are converging towards the same function. So this is sweet potato, this is potato. Both are converging towards the same function. That is what? That is called as storage of starch. So this kind of relation is called as convergent evolution, where there are different structures, but those different structures, they are performing the same function. This is called as convergent evolution. Okay? Itanagar, Shillong, Kohima, Dimapur, Texo College, Naharlagun, St. Paul's. Where are you people? Am I clear? Shillong? I can see you. Am I clear? Yes. Aizwal, very good. Yes. Sleepy children. Okay, fine. So marsupials and placentals. Placental mammals. So what was happening? See, there was a different adaptation going on in marsupials, and there was a different adaptation going on in placental mammals. Okay. So when you are talking about marsupials and placental mammals, both of them are undergoing different kind of, like what I'm talking about, this my right hand is showing marsupial evolution and my left hand is showing, my right hand is showing marsupial evolution and left is showing placental evolution. And both the evolution is taking place where? Both the evolution are taking place in the main continent of Australia. Isn't it? So this kind of evolution is actually the particular evolution that is said to be convergent evolution. So if two evolutions are taking place together, two adaptive evolutions are taking place together in the same continent, same geographical area. The geographical area can be as small as a state, it can be as large as a continent. So if in the same continent, two different species, adaptive radiations are going on, one is with marsupials, one is with placentals, that is what is called as the convergent evolution. That is the answer of the question, that when is convergent evolution said to be, when is adaptive radiation said to be convergent evolution? Yes, see, Aizwal, don't get confused much, it's very easy. See, marsupials are the pouched animals. Have you seen kangaroo in cartoons or animations? They have a pouch-like structure in front of their body where they carry their young ones. Have you seen that? Have you seen Joey? The young one of a kangaroo is called a Joey, Joey. So what happens is they actually have a very, very small placenta. Their placenta is very small and they cannot take care of their young ones in that small placenta. The placenta should be large to take care of young ones. So what they do is that they give birth to premature babies. They give birth to premature young ones. But they need to take care of it. Similar to placentals only, but the difference is that placental mammals, the full development is going inside the body of the female. Isn't it? But in case of marsupial, the full development is not undergoing and the young one comes out very early, very soon. So what a marsupial is doing, one of the example of marsupials is kangaroo. There are many marsupials. Okay. So there must be one marsupial. And that marsupial started to show certain adaptation. And because of those adaptations, they started to form a huge group of marsupials. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Aizwal. So marsupials, what they started to do is that they started to keep their young ones in the pouch structure present in the front of their body. And in the pouch, the young one started to grow. So this was the particular mode of growth seen in kangaroo. This is a particular mode of growth seen in kangaroo. And similarly, many other marsupials are also there who are actually very much similar to kangaroo, which grow their babies outside their body. Okay, partial development inside and full development outside the body, and these are called as marsupials. So there must be one marsupial, and that marsupial started to show many adaptations, and that turned into many marsupials. Okay, so this is what is happening. The marsupials and placental mammals in Australia, both are showing adaptation. So there is a marsupial adaptation going on, there is a placental adaptation going on. But both of them are going on where? They are going on in the Australian mainland. So we will call this whole story to be what? We will call this whole story to be convergent evolution. So if more than two adaptive adaptation is taking place in our geographical area, we call it to be convergent evolution. This is an exceptional case, and this has high chances of being asked in your exams. So be very, very typical about this thing. This is very, very exceptional case, because adaptive adaptation always leads to divergent evolution. But it can also lead to convergent evolution when how the scenario is clear. So whenever two adaptive adaptations are taking place in the same geographical area, it is called as convergent evolution. Clear? Up to this? Are we clear up to this? Tell me. All the centers, Kohima, Tetsu College, Itanagar, Shillong, Naharlagun, St. Paul's. Am I clear? Okay, very good. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's have a quick revision of the class. What we started with actually assignment and all those things. I will not be having any revision of assignments. I will be just teaching you new concepts. Let's have a quick revision. Let's see what was the story moving on. The story was actually started. The story started with evolution by natural selection. So, obviously, all the theories that we have studied till now, the natural selection happens to be the most talked about theory, the most accepted theory, because the rest of the theories, they are not having a very, very special place. So what we have is, we have maximum information, maximum reliance on the theory given by Darwin, that was theory of natural selection. So there was industrial mechanism. The first example, in 1950, before 1850s, what happened? There was no industrial evolution, so the trees were covered with lichen. Now you know lichen is what? Lichen is a pollution indicator. So what started to happen? There were two varieties of moth, white and dark. Since lichen was giving a white appearance to the trees, so there was more of white-winged moth and less of dark-winged moth. Okay? Okay, I'm coming to it once more. Itanagar, just be with us for the revision. At the end of the revision, that thing will be coming itself. Okay? So in 1920s, what happened? The industrial evolution started. The trees started to get covered with black soot. And because of this black soot, what happened? The dark-winged moth, they started to increase their number. Obviously, they started to hide with the background, and they were not easily noticed by their predators. So population was getting reversed. Earlier was something else, later was something else. Why? Because the whole story I have taught you. This is what is SO2 is a pollution indicator, a particular pollutant, and that pollutant actually decreases the number of lichens. So lichen decreases, and there is more of soot that makes the tree trunks totally black in color. So after the Industrial Revolution, the tree trunks were covered by soot and white-winged moth was not able to camouflage or hide, isn't it? And the dark-winged ones were able to. So this was actually supported by certain facts that those areas which did not have this Industrial Revolution thing, they actually had this low variety of melanic moth. Now it clearly shows that a particular area where Industrial Revolution is not present, the melanin containing moth or the dark moth will be less in number. So this was the thing we got. So that more adaptation means more survival means more reproduction. So if you are able to show adaptation, you will survive, and if not, you will get extinct. And if you are surviving, obviously you will be again leaving many varieties behind you, many offsprings behind you. So excess of herbicides and pesticides, again they resulted in resistant varieties of weeds and resistant variety of herbs, pests as well. Same was the case with microbes, that is the naturally selected microbes were actually resistant to antibiotic. So if you are using an antibiotic, the ones who will be surviving will be naturally selected by the nature to adapt in that antimicrobial environment. Then we had the adaptive addition thing. So adaptive addition was very easy. We talked about Darwin finches. We talked about a bird which was actually seed eating. It came on an island and started to adapt into different varieties of finches. Some of them started to eat fruits, some of them started to eat seed, and some of them started to eat insects. So this was the adaptive addition shown by the Darwin's finches. Then the story continued and we saw one more example, that was Australian marsupial or kangaroo. Okay, so Australian marsupial or kangaroo is actually an example where there was an ancestor, XYZ suppose, and that was a marsupial ancestor. That marsupial ancestor started to show adaptation and form many different marsupials. Marsupial 1, marsupial 2, marsupial 3, 4, 5, 6. So this was the adaptive addition of marsupial adaptation. So if there is XYZ marsupial adapting into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I will be having a bunch of marsupials with similar characters, isn't it? That is what is called as adaptive radiation that took place in Australia. Then I had a question that when is adaptive radiation called as convergent evolution? Okay. What is the outward appearance on the finches? Outward appearance on the finches, I'm not getting you. Outward appearances on the finches. What kind of outward appearance? Explain the question, that's so college please. I'm not able to get the question, I'm sorry. So, let's resume the topic. So, when the adaptation, the finches were very small birds, just like sparrow. Okay, very small birds, just like sparrow. But they had different types of beaks. That was Darwin's actually started to pay attention on. Small birds, very small birds. Okay, when is adaptive addition leading to convergent evolution? See, what is happening over here? Wait, Azwal, I will be showing you that. First, let me make this understand to everybody. See, what is happening over here? When is adaptive radiation leading to convergent evolution? So, what is happening? See, pay attention. What is happening? There is two different kind of evolution. Okay, there is two different kind of evolution. There are two different kind of evolution. One is for marsupials. Okay. And the other is for placental animals. Placental animals like us, like cow, buffalo, goat, horse, sheep, rabbit, all these are placental animals. Rat is also a placental animal. Why? Because they give birth to fully grown babies. So, we have placental animals, many placental animals coming from a similar ancestor. There was one ancestor, it gave rise to many placental animals. Okay? There was another ancestor which was not placental, which was marsupial. Okay? This marsupial ancestor started to give rise to many different marsupial. M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. This was P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. So both of them were actually showing different adaptations. This was in no way connected to this thing. Okay, you cannot connect this thing to this thing. But yes, both this evolution was taking place in the same mainland of Australia. Okay, the placentals were showing a different kind of evolution and the marsupials were showing a different kind of evolution. Both of them were showing adaptations. Okay. Yes, Itanagar. Okay, I'm sorry. Since I'm teaching you this for like this 5th time. Okay, fine. Once again come back. Itanagar, all the centers please pay attention. Let's again try to understand this thing. This is important. Okay. So my question is, when is adaptive radiation said to be convergent evolution? See, adaptation is what? If you go back home and you try to link yourself with different animals, you must be finding your link with different animals. Like you might be having some properties which are similar in cows, which are similar in horses, in monkeys, isn't it? That means that you have started your evolution from some ancestor which are actually similar in their structures. Okay, agreed? So similar kind of thing is happening here also. So you are having what? You are having an ancestor and that ancestor is starting to diverge. Starting to diverge means go away. So it's the ancestor, some of them started to fly, some of them started to run, some of them started to climb the tree, some of them started to walk, and some of them wanted to do something like they wanted to go inside the earth or burrow. So you are having an ancestor which is giving rise to rabbit, cow, donkey, monkey, buffalo. That means these are all placentals. So this is placental ancestor giving rise to P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Clear? The same story is for the placentals also. I'm sorry, marsupials also. The marsupial ancestor is also going to give rise to different animals. Some of them are going to do something else. Some of them are actually going to run. Some of them are actually going to burrow inside. So this is a marsupial ancestor. And this marsupial ancestor is actually giving rise to different varieties. M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. So you have what? You have a placental divergent evolution. You have a marsupial divergent. This is diverging. Diverging means going away. See, this is what ancestor was. And then the ancestors, they started to diverge. They started to develop certain different kinds of features. See, so this was ancestor, it started to show different kinds of features like this. So they started to form new species. Okay, so this was placental species, this was marsupial species. And all these particular thing, this divergent evolution was taking place in a similar area, in the same area. And what was that area? That area was Australia. Okay, so if two divergent evolution is taking place in the same area, it is called as what? It is called as convergent evolution. Now tell me, you are clear? Tell me. Still you have doubts? Two divergent evolution, same area, called as convergent evolution. That's all you need to learn. Everybody? Okay, Shillong? Somebody wanted to see a slide. Very good. Somebody wanted to see a slide. It was with center. Aizwal, yes. Aizwal, which slide have you missed? Before the, above the evolution theory. What is this? This slide. Let me know which slide. This one. Rest of the centers. Itanagar, are you clear now? Tell me, am I clear now? Yes, Tetsu College, you can leave, no issues. You understood everything? Tetsu College? You understood everything? Okay. Okay, fine then. Let's leave our topic here. We'll be starting with the next topic called as biological evolution in the... Yes, I'll be sending you the link, don't worry. Okay, fine. So next class we'll be starting with the new topic, that is biological evolution. Till then, You go back home and study whatever is being taught. Okay, I will be giving you assignment also. Make sure you are doing that for the next class. Okay. Thank you so much. Good night.